Welcome to the Carnivore Family channel, where every night is steak night. Today we are going to go over Phase 3 of the Carnivore Family Transformation. Your family has put in the majority of the legwork by this point. Meat is the star. Nearly everything in your grocery cart is animal-based. Carbs and sugars are basically a distant memory. So what's next? Processed foods. So buckle up and let's get to it. Before we get started, do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button and ring that bell. When we're done here, check out Carnivore Family on social media and our store. Links in the description box below.
Welcome to the Carnivore Family. We don't eat plants or fruit from a tree.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Reese. This is my husband Louie, and these are our 8 carnivore kids. On Father's Day nearly 2 years ago, we made the family decision to transition our whole family from a standard American diet to the carnivore way of eating. This was a life-saving choice for my husband, and the positive impact it had on our whole family has been immeasurable. When we committed to this path for our family, my husband and I opted for a gradual transition for our kids compared to ourselves. Reflecting on that initial year, we realized we broke it down into 4 key phases. Phase 1, major carbs. Phase 2, minor carbs. Phase 3, processed foods. Phase 4, refining the system. Once again, I'm going to make the obligatory disclaimer that I'm not telling anyone what they should do with their kids. But I'm going to assume that if you're watching this video, you are probably interested in making changes to your family's way of eating. I'm here to offer you some ideas on what we did. Today we are diving into Phase 3. If you want to hear an overview of all the phases, check out my video here for the beginning of the series. In Phase 1, we eliminated all of the big, obvious carbs. In Phase 2, we weeded out all the sneakier carbs, as well as fruits and vegetables. Keep in mind, we were about 6 months in at this point. This was the point where we implemented our famous no exceptions policy. Previously, we had been flexible with our kids consuming whatever was offered at birthday parties and other special occasions. But we were starting to realize that with 8 kids, special occasions were just a little too frequent, and everyone kept getting derailed over and over again. The kids also started coming home with stomach aches after only eating a few bites of cake and pizza. Their bodies were clearly unhappy with the now unfamiliar foods. The holidays were also approaching, and I wasn't about to accept that we would spend October to December every year making exceptions every couple weeks. So the no exceptions policy was born. We made sure the kids were well fed before parties, or they took their own meals. We communicated with other families in advance and made sure they understood we were not asking for special meals or accommodations. Our kids were responsible for making their own food decisions at these events. If there was a potluck, we taught our kids to key in on the foods they could eat. If the party offered tacos, the kids made taco bowls with meat, cheese, and sour cream. If the event featured pizza, they would pull the meat and cheese toppings off. If there were sandwiches, they would eat the meat and cheese like roll-ups. We took these events one at a time, and it got easier and easier. If you want to learn how we tackled the holidays, check out my video here. Now back to the main focus of Phase 3, cutting down on the processed meats. Up to this point, we had been incorporating a lot of processed meats. Sausage, chorizo, hot dogs, Spam, cold cuts, little smokies, bratwurst, pepperoni, salami, bacon, and many more. But now that we had achieved our goal of making meat the star, we wanted to refine the system and make whole meats the superstar. We did not then, and still do not now, ask the kids to avoid these foods. We have just deprioritized them. We make most of our meals at home from whole cuts of meat. Steaks, roast, ground beef, pork chops, chicken, ribs, fish, and eggs. Lots of eggs. Processed meats became once-in-a-while foods, special occasion foods, and packed lunch foods. It was during this phase that some of my kids began to notice that certain processed meats actually bothered them, and they can now avoid them, opting for varieties with a lot fewer ingredients that are easier on their systems. The biggest lesson we took away from this is that everyone is different. Some of us are a lot more sensitive than others based on how much healing we have to do. My husband cannot even handle pepper without triggering symptoms. The kids are at the beginning of their lives and relatively symptom-free in comparison. But we use this time to communicate that health is a long-term goal. It took years for my husband and I to realize the damage we had caused to our bodies. One of our goals is to help our kids be more self-aware of the choices they are making. While they're at home, we are their guides. When they are adults, they will be responsible for the choices they make, and by that time, they will have a clear picture of what true health feels like. Our hope is this will make them less susceptible to compromising that feeling for fleeting food entertainment. So at this point, our focus became whole meats cooked at home for the majority of our meals. We learned to cook everything in either butter, tallow, lard, or bacon grease. We got used to preparing to-go meals for ourselves anytime we were going to be out all day. By this point, the kids had developed a more refined meat palate. They had strong opinions on how the ground beef was prepared and how long the chicken was cooked in the air fryer. Some would happily eat fried eggs and bacon, while others preferred pork steaks or burger patties. Everybody grew to love steak bites. We encouraged them to explore their preferences and participate in cooking their meals, even the 3-year-old. This made it more fun and more personal. We did not expect them to like all the same foods that we liked. As always, don't let perfection be the enemy of good. This is your family journey, and you decide what that looks like in the end. When you're ready, check out my video here for a deep dive into Phase 4. Now to wrap this up, I want you to know that I'm giving away my Carnivore Family Grocery Guide to help you get started. Check out the description box for details. Leave a comment and tell me what your family's go-to carnivore meal is. And if you found any part of this video helpful, please consider sharing it with a friend or on social media. Smash that like button to show the algorithm you care, and feel free to email me questions at carnivorefam@gmail.com. And remember, when all else fails, go eat a steak.
Never go.